Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play, Field of Glory Empires. Oh my gosh, episode number 19? 18 or 19, I can't remember. We're going to do our usual quick scan of the map, the world map. I think a lot of the places, probably the number of turns we're doing per video, per episode is decreasing. Saka is really exploding. I think that they're pretty much as far north as they can go. Gobbling up independence like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, and obviously with the collapse of the Seleucids, this whole area has nothing to counterbalance it, so they'll probably experience a pretty significant amount of growth. It will be interesting to see what happens with the Sakans when they round the corner over the Caspian Sea, and yeah, what is in store for them when they hit this Caucasus area. So we'll see. Yeah, not much is really. I think things have stabilized in addition to the fact that we're slowing down the number of turns per video. So let's try to jump back to our own nation to try to speed that up. We have a couple of buildings that we need to, set. Further south, pretty good loyalty. We don't actually want to grow too much. Population is actually, I think we might be outstretching ourselves a little bit, and for that reason, I'm going to make the very. I don't know. I mean, we have Noble District, which is interesting because it gives us 14 loyalty bonus, which is huge. But it also gives us this pretty huge 0.6 decadence increase, which is, I mean, that's just a flat 6 increase in the amount of decadence we'll have. So, I can see how this builds poorly into the end game. I think what we actually want to do is get 3 infrastructure buildings though, so I'm actually going to go with clay pit. The minus health, we have a lot of health buildings, and I actually think minus health to maybe slow down the rate of growth might actually be a good thing. Here, kind of similar story. We're not going to do the clay pit. We actually have loyalty under control for a little bit right now. Theater is not necessarily that interesting by itself, but it can upgrade the amphitheater. I was also considering doing the wax workshop. I feel like those are the two quite good options here. I mean, clay pit is possible as well, but we're already into tier 2 buildings, so I'd rather get tier 2s. We definitely don't want sewers. Actually, slot usage -1. Well, we have 4 slots available, so let's consider that in the future. I mean, sewers is actually a tier 3. Oh my gosh. But it requires lead. But lead can be already imported from Anatolia. Kind of an interesting thing. I mean, if we don't do that, the next population growth won't happen for eternity. But that's actually good. I think the event that'll spawn a population will probably happen before. I mean, 136 turns is that's a really long time. I don't think we'll be trying to get food here. So this is going to be one of the regions we specialize in stuff other than food. So I kind of talked myself out of theater and started thinking about the wax workshop. We can get wax from this, and what does wax do? Very useful for scholars in scriptorium and school extra culture. The candle shop also makes use of it and will generate extra money in doing so. Well, I do like both of those things, and loyalty is not bad right now. We also have a ton of low tier, how many? We have 6? Oh, we have 6. We can actually get tier 3 stuff, so you know what? After all I said, let's get this. This seems to be a really good tier 1 trade building. So, talked myself out of it. Had all these decisions ready to go off camera. Came on. Changed my mind. Okay, so as far as war goes, this is the only independent near us that we're really interested in. We already proposed peace with the Bosporans. We don't know how that'll go yet. We do have this religious building decision that we could do. Gather food from the land is, again, I don't think it's that important. So the interesting thing is that all we need is one army, one unit per, was it? Loyalty would be lowered though still. No, I mean, it doesn't really matter then. It's 5 points versus 10. Yeah, I just don't think we can do this. I was thinking about doing the army choice, just because we have a lot of army troops and food would be important to just supply for them. But, I don't really care if we're still growing even with all those people. And this is just another Merchants and patricians choice, we don't need that. And we're already choosing to add fees to the calendar. Okay, good. So let's ooh, it's really nice to have this good military ruler, but I think we're gonna see him come and go because his health is not great. It's probably going to deteriorate. He's 65. Let's end the turn. I wish the game would tell you, by the way, if you hands across the ocean. I got an achievement. That probably means owning something without being connected by land. So 15 troops versus 16. These two are at war, the Commagines and the Osrones. However you want to say that. Could be Commagines. Oh, balls. We still haven't got a progress token. Well, I really do want to get up to the next one because we'll have the nice perks of being glorious. Speaking of glorious, Sparta seems to be sitting pretty well. Oh, the Imperians have, even though their monarchy has descended, they're doing well suddenly. Okay, and we're 13th in Legacy. Seleucids are going to be hard to catch up with, and I think, honestly, the Romans might be impossible to catch up with. So we are now at peace with the Bosporans. I'm certainly not interested in making it any more than that. Okay, so another mercenaries decision. Alani said we think we should make peace with the Bosporans. Well, guess what? We are. How about that? And I don't know if we really want the alliance here. Oh, they're asking for it. I see. Well, I think that's just a straight up no. Okay, after weeks of troubles, Anatolia is in unrest. Well, that's a bother. Look how many. So this is a place that needs a different building. Okay, one more turn. Just wait one more turn. Okay, we'll solve the problem any way we can. Minus 28. Oh God. Okay, well we'll just move armies there, I guess, since we don't really have a decision, any other choice. So we won't be moving all the people here as I started to do. Might as well get the infrastructure. Okay, this is Hellenic citizens, good. Yeah, the slaves we need in this area. Let's do something like this. Yeah, so you guys are the most effective up there. Okay, well, we'll just have to wait one more turn. The gambling arena will give us a nice, very nice bonus. Okay, what is this? Large walls. Slot usage is still 0. Well, I'm all for that. Oh, upkeep of 4. So you start paying infrastructure penalties for this. Still, okay. Darn it. Amisos is degraded to poor. Well, it was bound to happen. I basically just predicted it. And we added a new feast day to our calendar. I don't really know where that comes into play. Okay, well, I don't think it matters. Yeah. The governor of Lyris had no choice but to crucify a few religious agitators. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to make them probably not very happy. Truly, indeed, they are not. I'm pretty sure that we cannot get it. So we just need to start working. Well, again, we're just going to camp troops in the troublesome locations. I don't know how much that's going to, like, if that's going to solve the problem or not. Yeah, we need loyalty all across the board. So here's this nobles district again. We only have 2 slots left. So we have to be very careful about what we're choosing here. Oh my gosh, an expert stonecutter? This is, I think, worth it. Does it replace something? Produces less useful materials than a stone quarry, but if natural marble is around, will produce bonus culture thanks to this noble and usually rare material. I don't even think we have marble here. Huh. It must be in one of the neighboring places. Okay, what do you have? Like who? How do you have marble? I don't know. I guess the marble's already arriving here for some other reason. Which is fine, don't get me wrong. But I'm confused. Yeah, we should be able to find it here then. It's not? Huh. Yeah, this is a tough one to do because I honestly don't understand it. I think we're going to go with... Yeah, I think we're going to go with this noble district. Decadence is not too bad here. This will increase it almost by double. But the loyalty is just starting to become very necessary, so let's start working on it. Yeah, like for everyone. Okay, so it's kind of the same situation. We need loyalty here. That's a nice simple one. Do you have enough infrastructure? Boy, you pretty much don't. But I guess that's just because you have people trying to do... Yeah, I mean, basically we'll be able to take people off here and put them here. We can do it this way in order to get loyalty. So, what is it? What's the loyalty? It's one person. Yeah, loyalty is actually really important because one person counts as loyalty. Or two? Yeah, it's not quite one. Let's say it's two to give it in the best case scenario, it looks like two. But that still means you're saving 3 people from working in the culture slot if you get like a 6 loyalty type building, which is what we just did. So, or what we plan to do. Okay, wealthy citizen, sped up building construction, nice. We got a new feast, we got gather mercenaries, and healthy ruler. Okay. And finish the building here. What did we finish? Didn't we just build something here? Oh yeah, the wax workshop. And look at that, just right on target. Tar workshop picks up. Ooh, gambling arena. So for slot usage of 0, which is starting to become pretty important, you do get a nice loyalty bonus and a taxation bonus. Now loyalty is pretty good right now. Needs lumber, which is fine because it's a local trade good and it produces coal. Gives us 3 infrastructure, 4 money. Honestly, I'm more in the... I feel like I'm more interested in the infrastructure than the money. Well, that should basically go without saying. Infrastructure's not bad here, though. I do like ranches, but looks like half of Macedonia is producing cattle. So we'll sit on that for a while. I also don't want to turn a blind eye to the military upgrades. We should be trying to pay attention to these, see if they're useful. Okay, so this is going to be 14 money. Again, money is not something we really need. Versus 0 upkeep for the gambling arena too. Just -5 money. I think I'll take that. I know the decadence is not great. We already have gladiator school, gambling ring. Okay, so the gambling arena at least won't be a complete... Wait, so... Loyalty bonus of 12 versus 6. So it doubles this, and it doesn't quite double the decadence. It goes from 0.25 to 0.4. Yeah, I think that's worth it. And gambling arena, gambling ring actually uses those slots. This is -1 slots total. That's also quite nice. Okay, so that makes it a lot more interesting. And probably is the reason why I was doing it over here. Okay, loyalty's looking good over here. I think we're starting to gain back on the loyalty, earn more. Coastal market, I'm always a big fan of this one. We can actually do the gambling arena. Oh, so wait. This also has the gambling ring. Oh, okay, interesting. Just gambling going up all over the place. The Pontus people have become addicted to gambling. Online gambling. 10 food, 6 money. I mean, it's just really hard to turn this down. It seems better than anything else I could get, so I'm just going to go for it right away. And that will be the... yeah, only the second of my trade buildings. We do want to get the third infrastructure one. Again, the main thing should be get infrastructure up first. Although I refuse to do the infrastructure if it doesn't give me more than 5 infrastructure. Which is why it's really hard for me to do the charcoal one, even though you do get charcoal, which can be traded or, you know, is useful by itself. Gymnasium does seem interesting because the 3 manpower. I mean, health, you know, forget about the health for a moment. The manpower is very good. Again, this ranch thing, it seems hard to do it with so many opportunities. Oh, a fishery. Well, I want to produce fish. I don't know where our fish is even coming from. I don't understand it. Okay, Perosta and Xenia. Perosta has fish. And Xenia. And I think that if Perosta has fish, it distributes it to all of its neighbors, which could be... wait, what? Yeah, okay. So we don't actually want the fishery here, because it already has fish by merit of Perosta. Interesting. We can actually make a lot of money because we have cattle and olive oil, and it needs wine, which is local. Okay, well this sounds good. Loyalty here is not that great either, so -1 infrastructure, we'll go with that. And a slave market. Well, that's interesting. It is, yeah, I mean, there is some benefit to it because it does allow you to... well, first of all, it gives you loyalty. No, that's gambling ring. Oh, gambling ring. That's another way. That's another thing to think about. So I do want to sell my slaves. And I think you can only sell 1 slave for every slave market there is. This kind of seems like a good place to have a slave market because it's a place we might want to keep an army anyway because it's at the border with the barbarian people. I don't think the Pontus people thought of the Bosporans, the Scythians, and all that as barbarians. I'm not sure, of course, but the Pontus people were practically considered barbarians themselves. No, they were Greek people, so they probably did think of them as barbarians. Anywho, so yeah, I mean, that makes it a little bit more tempting to choose slave market. And, yeah. I think we'll go ahead and do it. It's not... I don't know how beneficial it'll be, but we'll find out. I mean, stables is also pretty good. Stables plus 1 other... yeah, you know what? We might do stables. 2 infrastructure, 6 equipment. Let's do it. Because that actually is going to be important for getting the tier 2 military buildings, assuming that we get a palisade here eventually. I thought we already did get a wall there, but I guess not. Anyways, it'll remove 1 other military option, so we should get palisades there a little bit quicker. Over here, we have 1... looks, I would really like to get a tier 3 here, charcoal. So there it is. Lumber is already a local trade good. That means that charcoal being there is not necessarily good. We want charcoal to be like a neighbor, like right here. Building charcoal would be really... oh, it already is. Perfect. Because then you draw the wood from the neighboring place, you get it. Anyway, it's just a good thing. Trading ground having slot issues of 0. This makes it a good candidate. Otherwise, we have a harbor. Tier 1. So we already have an anchorage, and this would give us a harbor, which needs hemp, but that's a local trade good. And that one, I don't think it matters so much. I think this one might be one we actually choose. 14 population. So this is the big place over here. I think that was their capital. After this one, at least. And that one does have a harbor. Okay, loyalty is a little bit suspect, so we might go with the gambling ring. We are going to have a huge surge of decadence, so I need to make sure I'm equipped to handle that with culture. It hasn't been a problem so far. We're still top of the pyramid, but I feel like that's just probably how it's really easy to let things get away, is you just realize you need loyalty like I do. You build a lot of decadence increasing buildings, and then suddenly before you even realize it, it's, you can't possibly put enough culture in to keep yourself on top, and you start tumbling down. Hopefully it doesn't get to that for us, but it's something I'm vocalizing it because I am aware it can happen. As far as army movement goes, or actually I guess we should be raiding with our pirates, but we lost our pirates, that's right. We are no longer able to get pirate buildings. Right, and I thought we were able to. Maybe empires can't use pirates? I still haven't figured out what exactly the mechanic is at work here, but... So the pirates we have are the last ones we're going to have. And honestly, we don't have that many. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Okay, never mind, we do. We have 12. Well, thank goodness I built a lot of these before, you know, the end. By the way, Armenia is dwindling. Colchis, whatever, they're actually kind of winning the war. Let's set these guys to raid and move them here. Yeah, they've become much better. I could even start raiding the Alani. And I know that sounds weird, but we would raid the territory which... Yeah, I think it's actually worth it to do. In this weird move... I'm going to raid the Alani because I want to kind of kill off as much of this territory as possible, honestly. Mainly because I want to take this with no people in it so that only my people are there, if that makes sense. By the way, Unrest, what does this do for us? It incurs a further loyalty penalty, food penalty, infrastructure, commerce, culture. Got it. That's not... I mean, I think, frankly, it's not that bad. I think we will move you here. Yeah. Do you want that? Oh, it's done in one turn now? I really want to make sure that that's actually the case. Oh, we don't want negative food, though. Oh, my God, heavens. We don't want negative food. In fact, I really don't want negative food. Okay, 4%. Let's try to keep it at 3%. -7 I can deal with. And we're at 1 now. So can you put any more? Yeah, you can put some people in infrastructure. That's the important thing right now. You're at +8 food, okay. And let's just take a little bit of that money you're making and throw it into infrastructure as well. Just to make sure we're getting this in one turn. And let's put one other person back there. Yeah, getting good gains from that. Let's just put 2, and this one's also part of it, so infrastructure... You already are, but we'll put you one more in there. Okay, good. Just to make sure it's all working out. Double check the decisions and end the turn. Yeah, so we could declare war on the Osrones. I mean, I believe this is the entirety of both of their armies, 16 and 15. So I mean, even our secondary armies down here in the mainland of Pontus are big enough to destroy that, but we have an even bigger one of 19 up in the north. And I guess, yes, we are going to raid the Alani. Don't think we'll get much out of that. We don't really even care about the money, but yeah, it's something to do. Probably going to call this video to a close a little bit earlier. I have to, well, everyone's got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Damn, Macedonia just killed it this turn. 2 tokens. We're still stuck at 0. We had 2 when they had 1. And we're both have been stuck at the top, so presumably both had equal opportunity to improve. We just got a little bit unlucky. Raw. So where the hell's Raw? We can do that one. We can do that. We can do that. Okay, I'll have to look at that off camera to see what we need to do exactly. Okay, our ruler's going to die next turn, so if we wanted to go to war, now would have been the time. Looks like because we're cooperating, I forgot, because we're cooperating, we don't go to war with them. We don't raid them. Well, we might as well just go up here and raid the Bosporans, which will also possibly raid the Scythians, which I'm not sure yeah, it looks like... These are independent. If I go here, I will specifically be raiding the Sarmatians. Here I have a chance to raid both the Scythians or the Independents. I mean, I was going to say the Scythians, both the Scythians and the Bosporans, but even the Independents. So let's try raiding there. The cultists have just repelled me so many times. I'm not interested. Okay, so we'll look into that a bit later. We got a new building here. What is it? A gambling arena. Loyalty is a little bit better. Hey, you know what? No, loyalty is not just a little bit better. It's a lot better. We are like out of the red. Ah, yeah, here's this expert stonecutter again. I don't know why it doesn't seem to... Does this replace something? No. It doesn't even give you, it's not good. So expert stonecutter only gives you 5 infrastructure, which is very low. I don't like that. But the advantage it can give you is culture as well. Well, not important for me right now. Now that is a lot of equipment. 54 for 3 money and 3 infrastructure, which we need. We also need iron, but we have that. It produces weapons. I really like this. I mean, this is what the point is, right? To start specializing. I think we should do that. I mean, the alternative is to just say to hell with decadence, which is at 0.7 right now. We do have the slave market, so we can say to hell with decadence and go up to 13.5. So our resting decadence right now is 13.5, which is pretty darn high. But if we add this, it'll be 19.5. That is pretty big. And yet loyalty is... Man, oh my gosh, I don't... You know what? I don't want this. 14 loyalty is would be so important, but I don't get any benefits from it. It's -7 infrastructure. There's so many things to tell me not to do this. So I think I'm going to do the weapons manufacturer instead. Plus, I kind of want to see how this goes. So one of the things I'm discovering is that despite my knowledge of the game, I'm nowhere near knowledgeable enough to understand how to do the correct building stuff, which is a small amount of frustration. I mean, I guess that's one of the things that it's like, it makes this game easy to learn, hard to master. It's not super easy to learn, but it's okay. But definitely difficult to master all those little mechanics. Okay. You have a new building. What did you build? Coastal market. That's always a good one. And we have an anchorage. We could get a harbor as well. Look, I'd like to calm it down a little bit on the crazy ship stuff. It's a little bit too much. I think a theater is always a nice thing. Always a nice addition. We're at 7 out of 10 slots. Well, let's just do the city walls, which is going to take the slot away from the palisades. Just increase our infrastructure by 1. But I like city walls anyway. So let's do that. Okay. And 1 turn, a couple more things we're going to finish. Excuse me. I need to probably do a sound check on my equipment. I moved it around so much that I'm not sure if it's capturing my voice well. Yeah, so we need the Unrest to end here before... Yikes. Yeah, before we can really do anything. Okay. This is now under control, well, ish. Let's get a couple more people in there. Really don't know how this yellow-red stuff, the unrest, actual individual unrest works still, unfortunately. Well, I don't think there's much we need to do this turn then. We're going to go raid, taking our forces. I think that they're moving on... So you guys are not moving us. They must be moving on the Osrones. Okay, well, let's just watch it happen. Oh, wow. 30. Okay, I was mistaken. They do have a bigger army. Fighting in the mountains, I believe. Let's see who wins this. This is huge. Oh, wow. They lost. 8 people. Osrones didn't lose anyone. 17, were they at 17 before? Yeah, so 8 disappeared. Oh my gosh, we still didn't get a token. You know, it's not like completely on. I think that with a 33% chance of getting something, you. Well, I mean, slightly. If it's slightly higher than 33%, so 35% chance, let's say. That puts you at pretty much a 50% chance of getting it in 2 turns. It's been several turns. Okay, anyway, we actually did attack Scythia. Am I worried about that? I don't know. I don't know. I have 2 minds a bit. I want to stay here and loot because then eventually we'll get to the independence. We're probably going to hit Scythia twice in the meantime, which is not like entirely my intention, but it's just the way it is. We don't need horses. In fact, the fact that we don't have horses up here makes me think that we should actually get horses or a stud, I should say. Somebody should get a stud. Coastal Market, again, is just fantastic. 10 food, 6 money for only 1 infrastructure. The loyalty is really important. I like this pleasure house. I like it a lot more. I used to think it was absolute garbage, but now I've realized the error of my ways. Yeah, I can't really see any of the other ones. Basically, it's going to be Coastal Market or it's going to be Pleasure House. And you technically do have the ability to get Tier 2 commerce stuff. So that does lead me to lean towards the Pleasure House, even though we don't appear to have any loyalty issues here yet. 10 food, 6 money. 10 food is pretty good. Well, we have a population of 11 already, so we're already growing pretty nicely. Okay, I'm going to shelve this for now. I think it's really nice. But honestly, I think sometimes the numbers that they give is not so important as the stuff they produce to set you up for better stuff later. Like a tier 1 thing, I mean, 10 food and 6 money is probably good no matter what, because 10 food is huge. Nonetheless, I'm going to put a little bit more decadence into my, the whole system. Loyalty here is a bit low. Loyalty of 4. I think we'll just take it directly. A quarry. Well, we have stuff there. You know what? Vineyards. I think we're going to go with a vineyard here. This will give us our third tier, our third food building. And I have this feeling that vineyards will be important. It's probably from my experience playing other games. They usually build things nicely for the end game. Okay, we're only 1 slot left here. We've got to be careful. Regional roads were constructed, so we need 0 slot options. Taxation. Loyalty is not an issue here. Caravan house is pretty interesting. 24 money. Armorer, I'm going to say no to. Infrastructure 10 is good. Smokehouse. You know, I honestly don't like any of these. We're going to grow in 4 turns anyway, but I really don't like any of these. First of all, none of them are a 0 slot. We might even consider deleting some of this stuff here. Like, orchards don't give you anything. They just give you, 10 food, which is obviously not terrible. Commerce is kind of important because we need our 3rd tier. Like, yeah, it's a pretty good choice. A lot of money because we have horses and cattle here. And it gives us a commerce bonus 10% over land in addition. Plus it'll be our third commerce building, so we'll open up other things. And then we'll grow just one turn after it's completed. And it can be upgraded to a caravanserai. I like it. Let's do it. We'll try it out. Okay, would have finished here. Oration Tribune, 60. Okay, we're still not looking that great on loyalty. Slot usage, not a big concern. This is not going to give me loyalty, but I feel like it still is good. Especially, you know, the 13 culture is probably valuable right now considering we have a huge uptick in decadence. So we should be matching that with culture. We have plenty of iron, but we're not going to gain the infrastructure. Yeah, -6 infrastructure is hard to persuade myself to do. Yeah, okay, so let's go for monument. Oh, it's down to 12. Hooray. You built a clay pit to try to make them less healthy intentionally. Alright, I think this pleasure house is a shoe-in. Even though we do have the ability to get tier 2s. Well, loyalty is pretty good there. We can get our third military building, which I like a lot. I also really like this one, but infrastructure here is not a problem. Well, mainly because everyone's working it, but let's go ahead and do stables, which gives us a little bit of infrastructure. Also gives us 6 equipment, so that little territory will be able to build up things a little bit faster if we need it. Okay, who remains? Looks like we're all good. Yep, all good. Okay, so let's end this turn, which is going to put us at the beginning of the next turn perfectly for the start of the next video. So what do we get? Like 5 turns done in this one? Not bad. I feel like we had a pretty good pace. I was tired recording it, which is never a good thing. But it's just, like I said, limited time. Gotta squeeze it in. Because I basically won't be able to record for the next 3 days, so. It was now or never. Okay. Dude, Macedonia got even another progress token I call BS. We didn't get one 6 turns in a row, so you can do the math. 0.3. So let's say, like, I think it's 0.3, or is it 30% or 35%? We'll take a look real fast. Local forces crush the invaders. Okay, well, let's send these guys home to rest a bit. They really can rest anywhere, but I think I'll send them here because I know that there's a harbor there, and you know, they should repair. I think they'll repair faster. Not sure. Anyway, let's take a look at what our chances are. 35% chance. So if I was to do the math, I think, what has it been 6 turns or 5 turns since we had a, well, let's at least say 5. So I'm just going to pull up my calculator, do 1 minus 0.35, which gives us 0.65. So there's a 2/3 chance basically that we don't get a progress token. If we if we just multiply 0.65 by itself, so exponential, 0.65 to the 5th power, let's say. You know, that's not too bad. Only a 10% chance of, I mean, it's about a 10% chance of not getting it this much. It might have been more. It might have been it might have been longer. It might have been 6 turns since we had our last progress token, in which case this would be like a 7% chance, but that's still, I think that's still, I mean, a 7% chance has got to happen at least 7%. It's got to happen 7% of the time, right? Not at least, but exactly it should on an ensemble. But anyways, enough of this. Now I've run over 40 minutes. That's what I get for running my mouth about math. Regardless, we'll pick this one up in the next video. If you have any suggestions, I'm not sure how far I want to run this series. Partly because I might even want to start over after I learn a little bit more about the mechanics. And thanks to everyone who's watching. I hope you guys are learning a little bit. But I really need to go investigate these missing details. I don't think that my viewers know it or comment about these things. So in order to get the information to share with you, I'm going to have to go hunt it down. So all this is just my way of saying that if we end up wrapping this series up sooner than I expected, my excuse would be that I really need to go learn the mechanics so that I can play the game better in a follow-up. And I think for the follow-up, I'd probably do Carthage. I just really like the idea of playing as Carthage. Macedonia is really easy. I've seen several people succeed as that, but Carthage seems like a lot of fun. And it's you have to overcome the odds defeating the Romans, which they didn't in this game. So anyways, until the next episode, thanks for watching and take care.